You should know, I think you're fucking beautiful. All your flaws are perfect, you should let them show. The things I love the most, I don't know what you see.
What's up, guys? It's NaShayeJ. You tuned into another episode of Queen Up. I'm here with the Tyra Grayson TGD Shot It. If you don't know Tyra, you're missing out. She's in River Chase Galleria. The billboards, ads in the River Chase Galleria. She is doing some really dope things, y'all. Celebrity content. She do videos. She do photos. She just do it all, and I'm just super excited to have her here.
I'm excited to be here.
Tyra. The energy is always good. The vibe is always good. So in this segment, we're going to talk about depression. So mental health is a really important thing that beings are becoming more aware of, more conscious of, more open about it, more like, hey, I'm going through this, instead of being afraid, because everybody's dealing with their own mental issues. So Tyra is gonna open up a little bit to us and tell her experience with depression, and then we're gonna raise her vibrations back up after that. Okay, let's get into it. So depression, how was it for you?
It's horrible. It was very bad. I knew I was depressed at like age 18 maybe.
And how old are you now?
I'm 23.
So have that depression from 18 to 23?
Yeah. So I recognize between the age I would say about 17, 18, somewhere in there. But I knew when I was in high school, like I would get bullied and stuff for like just small things, nothing too drastic, but small things. And then I started getting into self-harm a lot. And right now I'm like 9 years clean, so I'm fine. But it got worse when my granddad passed away, because he's the one, because everybody asked me, oh, how did you get into photography? It all started with my granddad. So when he left, it was just like, it was bad. Like when it first happened, it didn't hit me at first. And then it gradually over time, I was like, okay, I don't have my granddad anymore, because he gave me guy advice, just spiritual advice, all of that. So I was like, okay, I don't have anybody but my grandma. And God love her, bro. She went through it. But especially with being a creative, it's kind of hard because people don't understand the creatives have to take time to themselves, because everybody always hits me up, hey, how's the flyer going? How's this? When can you do this? When can you do that? Which I don't mind. It's just that sometimes I have to sleep. I need to eat something. I need to spend time with my friends. I need to spend time with my boyfriend. I need to fellowship, because I think that people think that we're just some robots and we just have to stick to one thing.
But you seem like the type of person, if you want to get things done, like if you get a task, you want to get it done right then and there. So do you think that depression comes from wanting to do everything?
Yeah, especially with me being a one person type team, like it's all me. Everything that you've seen, all the graphics, all that, I've had some friends help me out, but mainly it's been all me. So like what you said, like trying to get the task done, like I'll be on Facebook, like if somebody says, hey Tyra, I need a logo done Tuesday, I want to do it right now, because I want to rest Tuesday.
So you pushing stuff back just to get that done right then and there?
Yeah, sometimes I have a to-do list. I just started with the whole to-do list thing, because I was all out of whack with everything. But I want to get things done as soon as possible, because because I know I'm gonna want to rest. And then I think depression comes from me like being overwhelmed trying to get everything done at one time. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Right. It sounds normal.
Yeah, it's like, because it's good to be all fast and get things done as soon as possible, but then you get overwhelmed, you forget to eat. I forget to eat. I can't speak on everybody else, but I forget to eat, or I sleep late, or I catch these headaches like on the side of my head, like from staring at the computer for so long. And I told my mom, I was like, I need some glasses that can help me, because I have headaches. And then it's just, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse.
I love that our body tells us when we're not aligned. Like you said, with the headaches and the sleep disorders and appetite, I love that our bodies tells us, hey, something is not right.
Yeah, especially with when I had COVID. Oh God, it was bad. It multiplied like 10 times.
Your depression.
Not really the depression, but as far as like my body telling me, hey, you need to rest. Because I was like, look guys, I'm closed the rest of the week. Like I'll do graphics or whatever, but as far as like going out doing photo shoots and going out doing club things, I'm not gonna do it, because I have the virus, so I'm not gonna go out and spread it. But my body was like, okay, you need to take this COVID time to rest, because like I'm already feeling tired, and so COVID weighted down like so much more, and like it lessened my appetite, and then it made me lose a lot of weight. It was just like, it was bad.
So what do you say to people who's like, I'm not going through depression, but you've been through depression, so you kind of know what it looks like? What do you say to those people who are in denial about their depression?
That's a good question. Don't be afraid to speak up about it. Try to get help. I think a lot of people, because that's how I was, a lot of people try to hold it back because they don't want help, or they feel like they're gonna be a burden to somebody else,
or
talking
embarrassment,
about it. Or you have to talk about it like that. I think I think that's why a lot of people shy away and try to act happy. I don't have depression, it's fine. And then they do have depression. Like, please talk to someone, even if it's a close friend, a pastor, if you are in that type of realm. Just anybody, or just call. There's so many hotlines now that are out on the internet. Just type in a suicide hotline or a depression hotline, something's gonna pop up. And then you don't even have to say your name or where you're from, just talk to someone.
And that's been around for a long time.
That
has been around for a long time to help people. So you've called the hotline before?
I had, like, once. I think when I was 18, I called it one time, but I don't remember how the conversation went. I don't remember how it went, but I did call it like one time. Everything else has been mainly family members or best friends.
So a lot of people, like, I didn't think, I'm not gonna say, let me reference myself. I didn't think anxiety was real. I had a conversation with someone. I didn't think anxiety was real because I didn't go to a certain level of anxiety. But a lot of people fail to realize that we all go through some type of form of anxiety and depression, or some type of mental unalignment within ourselves. So do people with depression, do they feel like they're in it by themselves? Do they feel like they're being picked on? Do they feel like, why me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone because everyone has different views and different emotions, but it can seem that way. Like, yeah, I'm in it alone, or like I said earlier, like you don't want to get help, and so I think they're forcing themselves to be alone because that's all they know, and especially with anxiety. Now that I've been challenging that right now more so than depression, because the anxiety part is different for everyone, because I feel like I have like generalized anxiety. So when it comes to,
what does that mean?
It's just more like, it's just general like general life, like meeting new people, or just anything dealing with social life. So photography kind of made me step out and talk a little more. So that's why I'm like doing these interviews and stuff, so I can work on my public speaking, because that does help in the long run. Just talking, that's the whole thing, is talking to someone. You have to talk to someone about it. Now with me, my panic attacks they just vary. Some days I won't have any at all, and then some nights I'll just start freaking out of nowhere. What
triggers a panic attack?
Just being overwhelmed. Or like creating scenarios in my head that aren't even true. Like I'll have a problem with a friend, and I'll create this big old false story in my head, and I'll just run with it. And I'm so bad at it. But I'm getting a little better now, trying to understand. And so I talk to them. I'm like, look, this is what I feel, and their situation, what they tell me, is completely different than what I just said. So I have a bad habit of creating a scenario or thinking of something in my head, and that's when it triggers. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. I just start thinking about random stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably that, or maybe I'm doing this, or maybe it's bad. So I'm trying to work on that.
So depression is it can be genetic, it can be just your environment, it can be social media. But from what you're saying, it sounds like depression can come from like a self type of thing, like how you just said that you just make up scenarios in your head and push you down. Is that what it kind of goes? Is that what
Yeah. For me, at least for me, it does. But social media can be a toxic trait. You have to use social media to your advantage, but you have to use it in a certain way. You have to, because you'll be so focused. And still to this day, I'll post a photo of a celebrity and it'll get all these likes. Then I'll post a photo of a normal everyday model and it'll get like maybe maybe 10, 20 likes when the celebrity gets 65 to 100. And then in my head, I'm like, do people really support what I do, or they just support the people that I shoot? And I'm just like, I don't know. So you have to I was like, I'm gonna just post the content. Forget the likes.
Yes.
Just forget it. And I'm gonna just post. If it looks good, I'm gonna post it. So social media can be a depression thing, because people can tend to overthink and try to outdo somebody that they don't even know, or outdo an Instagrammer that's got all these followers and try to. It can be a lead to depression, though. It can be.
Why are women most likely to be diagnosed with depression?
Well, I'm no psychiatrist or anything, so this is just my personal opinion. With me being a woman, I think that hold on, I have to think about that one.
That's a good question.
It is. I didn't think I have to think about that one. I think with me, the older I got, I started learning my worth as a woman, because I would start like being very insecure about myself. And so like, let's just say like in high school, people would say I have very long fingers, and I'll take it and run with it.
Really? Why are they staring at your fingers?
I don't know. I was like, well, is that an issue? I'm sorry. I put them away. I mean, I have to write with it every day. I'm sorry.
I'll put them away for you. It's fine.
But just being a woman, I think that it all dies down to like what women can do, because I think that people think that women can't do much, or they're just these objects. And I think that's why a lot of women have depression, because we are seen, in this generation at least, we're seen as objects. And in the music today, we're known as, I'm not gonna say all that, I'm gonna keep it PG, but we're just known as these objects, and I don't like that. But it's what sells. But I think that women try to be Cardi B's, and they try to be Megan Thee Stallions, and they don't try to be themselves. They try to be what they see already. I'm like, no, don't. And that's, I think, with their body figures and stuff, I think a lot of women try to do that and try to match that. Don't try to match a celebrity's worth or their wealth. Don't try to do that, because I think even in this generation, with the whole women's rights and all that stuff going on now, I think like women don't really need to. We compare, how women are. We compare ourselves a lot to other women, and we do. There is some guys, and not all guys, but there is some guys out there that'll start picking at us because, like I said, we can't do a certain thing, or we look a certain way. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that note. I feel like that's just personal opinion. I feel like that's why we try to match other women and try to be what social media tells us to be. And get the body figure, or get the type of hairstyle that's up to date. When you see this little hairstyle, to say nothing, this old 80s style probably. I don't know what it is, but it's something, because that's what I like.
Exactly.
The leather jacket, that's what I like.
And you look comfortable being yourself, though. And people love confidence. It doesn't matter if you wearing overalls and a turtleneck. If you confident in yourself, everybody loves you.
Yeah, like people looking and be like, what is that? I mean, that's what they like, then that's what they like. That's not your place. And I think like a lot of women need to start embracing themselves. Just start like being, I'm gonna put this on today. Don't worry about well, if I put this on today, how would this look, or what would this person say? No, you put it on today.
Most people are dressing to get opinions from other people. Most people aren't dressing to say, hey, I'm gonna put this on because I feel good, I look good today. It's like, I wonder, am I gonna get some attention in this today?
Yeah, and I don't even think like that anymore.
Either.
Just like with the whole leather jacket, I like vintage stuff. I like, it looks like a motorcycle jacket, but that's the type of stuff. I don't know why. I don't know where the inspiration came from, but I just like how it just suits me.
Yeah.
And that's how my photography, some of it looks. I just like graffiti. I like grungy stuff, and and that's what makes me me.
So what else makes you feel good? With depression, it's important to talk about what makes you feel good. So what else makes you feel good to keep you balanced, to keep you aligned, to keep you from making up scenarios in your head?
You talking about just like photography wise, or just in general?
Anything, whatever makes you feel good.
This is probably off topic, I don't know, but writing makes me feel good. It does, because I used to write back in like elementary school. So I've been writing, like before photography I was doing like trying to rap a little bit. But I liked writing, and it calmed my anxiety a lot.
So what do you write?
Journaling, just journaling every day, like today's date, how I feel today, or how do I feel today, why do I feel this way today, and what can I do the next day to improve it or fix it. If it's a bad day, let me see how I'm gonna fix it. If it's a good day, let's see how I can keep this going. So I like journaling in my Samsung notes, and then or just write it down on paper, just like, hey, just this is what I feel today. So I've been trying to do that here a lot lately to calm myself down.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and reading's pretty good too. People don't read no more. I read. I haven't read in a while, but I stopped. But I was reading Charlemagne the God's book. It was called Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me.
Okay.
And the only reason I got it because of the title. I was like, yes.
So did it make you feel good to know that he also had
yes,
anxiety?
because he's such a big person, and he's a big radio personality. So when I look at these celebrities, I'm like, I don't even think because they have all this wealth, they have the clothes, they have anything they want, they can get it whenever they want. And so I'm like, oh, they don't have it. So when I started reading the first 2 chapters, I was like, oh, okay. So people do still go through this. Celebrities, at least. So I stopped reading the book. I'm gonna read it soon again. But I was like, I like how he kind of worded the whole playing tricks on me, because it does. Because like I said, you create scenarios, and it's like, it's playing tricks on you. Like, is this real or is this not real? And it seems crazy, but it's not.
Not really.
But yeah, that's just how I feel with it.
I like that you had a sense of connection to Charlemagne. I think that's how we connect with people. We like relativity. We like that. We like to feel like we're not the only people going through it. Kind of like what I asked you about depression. How people feel like they're the only ones going through it? We like to feel like we're not in this by ourselves. Writing was one of the activities, one of the natural remedies that people use for depression. So I think that's really great, because I was going to bring it up. I think it's really great that you say you write. That's interesting, because you say you need to talk to somebody, but sometimes people don't have that person to talk to. So writing is really a great way to express how you feel and things like that. So what else got you out of that mindset?
Just now, I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, but I went through this heartbreak like 2 years ago, and so I didn't know how to help it. So I called my friend Rashad, and he does like modeling and acting and everything, and so he's abs and everything, veins popping out. And I said, I want to use you for an anger shoot, and so I had him like use a shirt he did not care about, and so I just captured him like. I told him to get in a mindset. He just started like ripping the shirt apart, and he was on the ground like acting like he was crying and stuff, and I captured that moment. I said, this is how I feel right now.
That's wow, that's deep.
And so I do have those photos around. It's on my Instagram, like far in my Instagram. But I was like, I use photography as a method to, like I said, I want to get back into it because it was very healthy. And even if, and it wasn't on no payment type stuff, because money isn't everything.
Right.
Because when you do photography, I do photography to create and let my emotions flow out. So that whole anger shoot was good. And then I did one more shoot. It was anger mixed with heartbreak and some other thing. I think it was depression as well. So my friend had bought some like fake blood. It was around Halloween, so he brought some fake blood. Like he would just punch something or somebody. And so I took a photo. He had like rings on, and he had like blood just all dripping down. I was like, this is how I feel.
Have you ever did one of those screams? You know, like we just go outside and say, ah! They say that help.
I've never went outside and screamed.
They say that help. Now that sounds crazy.
Oh Lord, I've cried so much. My head just go. Like I've cried a lot, but I wouldn't scream. I screamed in the pillow
don't be
or something.
Scared. Don't be scared. I guarantee you it help.
Yeah, I screamed in the pillow or something.
It's not loud enough. No, it's not loud enough.
But ooh Lord.
So what will you tell people who are in the beginning stage of depression, in the middle, coming out of depression? What would be your message, your insight to them on just depression all around, the whole nine?
It will be over. It will, because people feel like it's a never-ending cycle. Because one of my friends, he's been battling depression. He's in his 30s. He's been battling it for so long, and I'm like, it will be over. You just have to. What my boyfriend says, he says, your mind is a powerful tool. So I'm gonna have to keep using that in my head. So that's one thing I do want to tell people, is that your mind is a powerful tool. So you have to want to get better. It's not gonna get better. You're just not gonna wake up and it just gets better.
Right.
You have to put in the effort for it to get better. But like you said, some people either don't have that person to talk to or just don't want to talk to anybody. So it's more so of like just putting your mind to it and waking up every day and realizing, okay, we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be over.
I love that she said that it will be over. I think it takes making a decision, just making a definite decision. Like, I don't want to go through this no more. And like you say, you're not gonna wake up the next day and it's just gone, but just making that definite decision, it's just, things are gonna start happening for you. You may, you know, your mood may change for an hour. That's progression, you know, the next day. So just making a definite decision that you don't want to be there. You want to be in a healthy state of mind. That right there is the first step. Being aware and making a decision that you don't want to be here. All right, guys, that ends this segment. We will be right back.